everyone, it's Rachel from Desert Blossom Crafts back with another stitch tutorial. Today I am excited to share with you the spider stitch tutorial. So this is a super easy stitch. If you're following along with my closed stitch crochet along, last week's was a bit harder, but this one is super easy. We just use single crochets and chains. And once again, it's called the spider stitch. You can see it's kind of like a mini V-stitch. All these little V's are called spiders, and I'm going to show you how to make them in this tutorial. Now before we get started, there are some notes I want to tell you about tension and things like that. This swatch was made with Red Heart Super Saver worsted weight yarn and an H crochet hook. So as you can see, it's a pretty closed surface, which is nice. There's not many holes, but I did find it a little bit tricky doing this stitch with the H hook and the worsted weight yarn. For some reason, it just the way the stitch works, the stitches are a lot tighter and it's a lot harder to find where you're putting your next spider, which we'll get into more later. But for this tutorial, I am going to go up a hook size, so I'm still using Red Heart Super Saver, but I'm going to use a 6mm crochet hook this time, so hopefully you'll be able to see where I'm going a little bit easier. And if you're having trouble with tension, you might want to do that as well, go up a hook size. To get started, you're going to need a foundation single crochet row of any odd number. So I like to start all my projects with foundation single crochet rather than the traditional chain. If you're unfamiliar with this technique, you can check out the tutorial in the cards. If you do prefer to start with a chain, you can do an even numbered chain and then do one row of regular single crochet and you'll be at the same point that I'm at. But I just have 11 foundation single crochet here, and you can do any odd number. So to get started with your spider stitch, you're going to chain 2 and turn. And now we're going to make what's called a spider in the second foundation single crochet. Now this is basically like a little mini V-stitch. I'm going to single crochet in that second foundation stitch, chain 1, and single crochet in the same stitch. And that is your spider stitch right there. Now to go across the row, we're going to keep doing that, but we're going to skip one foundation stitch and go in the next. So I'm going to single crochet right here, chain 1, and single crochet here again. And just repeat that all the way across. So the first row is actually pretty easy. What can get a little bit trickier is when we get into row 2 and we have to go in the middle of the spiders. But we'll get more into that when we get to row 2. So here I just have one more spider stitch left before I single crochet in the last stitch. So there's my last spider, and then I'm going to single crochet in this last foundation single crochet. So for row 2, I'm going to chain 2 again. And quick note, this chain 2 is going to count as a stitch. When we come to the end of row 2, we're going to go into that chain 2 we did before. So this chain 2 kind of counts as like a single crochet or like a half of a spider, I don't know. It's something you're going to put your hook into and make a stitch basically. But after you make this chain 2, we're going to make a spider in the middle of the next spider. So that's right here. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Now, when you look at this, it can be a little bit tricky to find where to put your hook. So we are going in the chain 1 space of these spiders. But when you look at it, it can be a little tricky, like where is that space? It almost doesn't even feel like there's a chain there. So if you get confused, it's easier to look at it from the front. So here, if we look at a spider, here's one single crochet, here's the other one, and the chain is right here. So this right here, where my finger's coming through, is where we want to put our hook. So if you are having trouble finding it, just go ahead and find it from the front and then try to save the spot as you come back around. So see, I'm saving it and then kind of turning it around, and now I know right where I need to place my hook. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and make sure you don't do your chain 1 super tight, because if you do them tightly it will be even harder to find that. So here's my next one, and once you get used to finding it, you'll be able to without turning it around. So this is where the chain 1 is, right in between here. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Oops, there we go. Here's my next one. And we should just have one more left. So let me show you how we find it from the front again. If we come here, here's that chain in the center. So we're just going to kind of loosen that, bring our fingers around so we can see right where that was, and then go in. Alright, so this is our last spider, and then to end the row, we're just going to do a single crochet into this chain 2 that we did at the beginning. And to continue with the spider stitch, you're just going to chain 2, turn, and repeat that row. So once again, I would skip this first single crochet and go straight into the middle of this next spider stitch right here. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, and just repeat that all the way across. So even with the larger hook, it's not looking too holey, which is nice. This one is very much, it is a little bit tighter and more dense, whereas with this hook it's a little bit looser. So experiment with your hook size, see what you like, see how hard it is for you to find the chain space. But yeah, that's really all there is to making the spider stitch. So if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'd love to help you out. And I'd love to see you around the channel more. I'm releasing new videos every Tuesday and Friday. And I have lots more crochet patterns and stitch tutorials coming out. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!